we have a thing where I say, okay, let's leave work in the office, and, not bring it home. She won't do that at all. And like a lot of good husbands, I've learned to kiss. But yeah, Eugenie and I have been together pushing 30 years now. And, we've had our ups and downs, but after all this time, we're in a really good place. Yeah, I think Jared is right. It takes some work, and you have to cut out time to a personal life, however short that is, and it really helps if you're with someone who understands that you're going to be working 12, 13, 14 hours a day, and that you're not going to get a lot of sleep, and someone who is cognizant of that. And both of their wives are in the business, and know what that is, and they're two terrific girls, and I would say these guys are better for it. They've, really, no, seriously, what I've seen over the years since they've gotten married and had children, there's a calmness and a serenity that comes over them. That's really it's helpful to us because they were really froggy in the beginning.
You had a couple of kids, you know? A couple of wild, crazy 20-year-olds.
Right. Okay, so if anybody has a question.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, thank you very much.
During season 4, Cass sent Dean back in time to stop the LI demon from doing everything, from causing the issues, which ultimately led to Dean introducing his family to the LI demon. And I was wondering what kind of impact that knowledge has had on Dean.
Bob. I don't know what the. I mean, from a producer's standpoint, or a director or a writer's standpoint, have you guys like consciously made an effort to write him a certain way, given his experience in that?
Well, I think, I mean, look, no one, and I've been there from the beginning, I don't think anyone who's worked on the show or continues to work on the show thought we would go this long. So we really in season 4 don't know where we're going necessarily in season 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 certainly. Eric had kind of a 5-year plan and then he ran like a thief in the night. But one thing we do is that what makes it interesting to the writers to keep it fresh is that you bring all that experience forward. It's actually easier to write these characters in later years because you have this history with them and they have this history that they can draw on. And sometimes things look like you guys would say, oh, it's cool that they set that up in season 3 and now it's paying off in season 6. That would be nice, but it's really not the way it happens. But we sit in a room at the beginning of the year and try to go through, all right, where have we been? What have the boys been through? Where are they? In what emotional state? And it's a challenge every year, but we always try to leave each season with kind of a good cliffhanger. And haven't necessarily answered where it's going until we get into the room for the next year. You know, having Sam look like he was dead. When the Angels fell, or at least severely injured, trying to face that challenge this year, which when the show goes on the air, you guys will see how we handle that. But we kind of take it. So
that's pressure, maybe. That's pressure.
We're really excited about this year. I think Jeremy Carver and the whole writing staff have really done a great job of keeping it fresh. I hope you guys agree.
I know you guys aren't going to believe this because I'm talking about my boyfriend, but he's going to be so jealous that you guys are looking at me right now. I know, a guy, believe it or not, a guy. So, my question, sorry, a little nervous. My question is,
what are you drinking?
it was water, but now it's,
vodka.
I wish. But the passion probably wouldn't help me right now.
Can somebody smell that glass?
Well, it was water. I drank like 8 cups before I got up here, so I really have to pee.
He's like, maybe gin. Okay, what's your question?
Put a line for the ladies' room for as soon as she gets done that she can.
I guess technically any of you could answer this question. It's about Dean. I've always noticed that he has this ring on his finger, and I've always wondered, I mean, where it comes from. Is there symbolism behind it, or is it because it's silver, so like, if he shakes hands with the shapes of 3, he's like, ha-ha, you're not real. Like, why does he wear it?
Why didn't you ever think of that one? Just a silver punch to the shapeshifter's face. That ring has been gone, that left in, what, season 5?
Oh, I didn't even know. I'm so nervous. I always wondered.
That's different than the one, yeah, the one that I used to wear on the show. It didn't, I don't think it had any true significance other than the fact that it was just something that had, honestly, you want to know the real reason for it?
Yes.
Open beers.
Because it looked cool.
Which, if you look, when I used to wear it, I used to open my beers that way. But then I think at some point, I had a conversation with Bob. I was like, hey Bob, did we lose the jewelry? So I was like, never liked it anyway. So we ended up getting rid of it. Because the necklace was gone, and then it was like, well, let's just get rid of all of it. That was it. Yeah, I know. So now I have to twist top my beers.
Alright, well, thank you very much.
Go pee.
I'm going to.
Thank you. And get that woman a cocktail. Hi.
Hey, Rose.
What's up?
Not much. What's up with you? So.
Just another Sunday afternoon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I want to congratulate you both on the little bundles of joy that your wives have given you in your lives. I just want to say, all parents have something that they're embarrassed by and they're very proud of. So what is it that you don't want your kids to find out? Both professional and personal. And what do you want to brag to them about?
Mine's the same thing. Mine's the same thing, funny enough, because Thomas's mommy and daddy have a scene on camera.
It's true.
So I'm half embarrassed, but then I'm also like, man, I was working out really hard then. My daddy was good. I want him to believe that his dad just looks like that all the time. Like, yeah, I'm doing pull-ups and this and that, so.
What, you know what you look like?
No, I'm gonna wear full clothing all the time.
By the way, in regards to that first scene that Jared and Jen did together, which I didn't direct because I would have been really embarrassed by it. But we were watching dailies and I turned to Phil Secretia, who's one of our producers and editors, and I said, something's going on there.
Really?
Absolutely. It was so hot.
He said,
I didn't get him to work that hard when I'm directing.
but then he did the soulless one with the pull-ups. And I was like, don't make me do sit-ups on camera, Bob. Don't make me do sit-ups on camera. The soulless prostitute scene.
This is the vanity arm of being an actor. Yeah. Me, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to change diapers at this point. So ask me in a year when she's a year old and she's talking, and then I've got to really figure out, you know. I mean, at this point, it's like I'm just working on taking measurements of my pool, and I put a gate. When it starts
You know,
falling.
I'll answer the question for Jensen. Google Jensen shirtless cowboy hat.
Did Misha put something on Twitter that's ultra embarrassing for you, Jensen?
Not on Twitter, I don't know.
Well, Jared should have seen it, I think.
I don't check my Twitter super often. I can go back and check out.
Save us the trouble, what?
It was one with brick pants on. There was the one where he came to the vasectomy. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was Photoshop.
You know, those are things that I'm gonna make sure and show JJ, because I want her to learn from my mistakes.
Alright, that's fair.
And as far as the cowboy hat goes, I mean, the last time I checked, it's been Jared's wallpaper on his iPhone.
Yeah, so I can show it to you later.
Oh, alright. Okay, I've officially embarrassed you. I'm sorry, I'll be down.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, I'm pretty glad that question wasn't so serious because I have this bullshit question I'm asking everyone actually. And it's about the covers of the supernatural books. And the question I asked everyone else was what they would look like if they were on these covers.
The Carver Edlund covers.
Yeah.
What?
The Carver Edlund covers.
Yes, exactly, those.
Oh, yeah.
But since you're already on the covers, with the long flowing hair and the beautiful abs, I was wondering if you could put any character on the covers, what would you make them look like and pose like?
I'd have Richard Spade in his porn stash. He also looks damn fine in a gym t-shirt. I think you will go along with it. Seems like...
Maybe Garth and Charlie. Doing something like, you know, Conan the Barbarian.
DJ ripped.
Yeah, DJ just like put DJ's head on Schwarzenegger, circa 1979. And go from there. And put Charlie in a Princess Leia outfit. This is too much?
You computer people out there, make it happen. Make it happen.
There you go. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, so my question is, if you could go back in time to when you're 18 and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be? And you can answer as yourself and as Sam Dean.
Buy Apple stock. What's the famous thing about future plastics? Is that a thing? That's tough. You know, this is honest, and maybe you guys have had this conversation, because I know it's a conversation people have when it's too late and they start laughing. I've had this conversation before where I've talked to a friend and said, if you could have somebody show you a glimpse into the future 10 years from now, you'd see 5 minutes, would you say yes or no? That's a real question. Would you say yes or no? If I could show you 5 minutes 10 years from now, I've thought it out, I'd say no.
I'm kind of curious, so yeah, I'd probably say yes, but I'd probably regret it.
But I think it'd be fun for 5 minutes, and then I think for 10 years of your life, you'd be focused on that until it happened. I don't know what I'd say to my 18-year-old self. You gotta kind of make mistakes. And
I know exactly what I'd say. I'd say, son, when you're doing the photo shoot with the cowboy hat, and they ask you to take your shirt off, it's okay to say no. And I remember that vividly. It was just, cowboy hat's great. It's great. We're loving it. It's fine. We get it. You're from Texas. We get it. Could you just take the shirt off? Really? Is that? I mean, do I need that? That's what. So it's gonna be better if I do? Yeah. Oh, give me it'll be great. I love it. Okay. Stupid.
you,
He would have left the shirt on too.
Don't ever ask me to think about it. I think these guys were lucky, I think at a very early age they actually knew what they wanted to do and got into this business because they really loved it and cared about it and saw their future. You know, when I was 19, pardon my French, I didn't know what shit or wear my watch. But not a lot of conventions to you know, but these guys had a really clear thing of what they wanted to do, and they went after it, and they both succeeded. So I'm just guessing that if they were saying, looking back and saying, what do I want to do at 19, and where do I see my life going, they probably would have picked right where they are. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob. Yeah, come on.
Big, oh,
great. Now we're in trouble. Wow, it's quiet.
Who's the bald, creepy super fan talking like that? And where's security when you need them?
All right, sounds good.
Yes,
All right, drinks are on Cliff. Where are we? Over here. Hi.
Hi guys.
How are you?
I am amazing. How are you?
That's spectacular.
I'm gonna step out really quickly and risk my life in front of all these fans and let you know that you have a huge contingent of fans that are really, really happy that you stayed true to Crypty's idea of just brothers.
You haven't seen the season premiere yet.
Okay, I was gonna be serious, now it's fine. No, seriously, I really enjoyed the fact that you guys have established the fact that the show is above and beyond angels, demons, apocalypse, it doesn't matter. It comes down to two boys that have been through literally hell and back for each other, and family doesn't end in blood. So, very cool. Thank you for always portraying that for us.
That is exactly what, in every writer's room at the beginning of the year, that we reiterate, that it's about the brothers. And all stories start there, and whatever happens in a particular plot is, how does that affect the brothers? So you're right on.
Cool, thank you. Even though there was a dog in the Impala, because I can understand you pissed out of that. So ultimately, I wasn't expecting Mr. Singer on stage, but I guess this is cool because you could feed into this. But we know Misha's going to be directing an episode. The show is basically jumped the shark so many times now that it's okay to let him, I suppose. He's also before mentioned.
I'll let him know you said that.
He's also mentioned a musical before. I'm not the only person that would die to see that. Would you guys be game? I know one of you can sing. It's Jared, of course.
You know what? Jared can sing.
Oh, hey.
He doesn't like to admit it, but you're damn right, I can.
That's an idea we've actually kicked around.
Really?
Really?
Oh shit.
When I said kicked it around,
Kicked it out the door.
No, it's really hard to do, really hard to do. We wouldn't, we certainly didn't want to do one that we felt was rushed and that the music was rushed and that somehow it didn't feel like a supernatural. And those are real hurdles. I guess it's an idea whose time hasn't come quite yet, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, congratulations on the babies.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi. I have a question for each of you. Jensen, after Supernatural's over, are you interested in maybe exploring more directing gigs at all, or directing this
Absolutely. Yeah. There is a spin-off that's happening, and what a fantastic opportunity that would be. Yeah, look, I've been very, very honored and thankful that these guys have given me the opportunity to direct as many as I have. And, you know, I look forward to the opportunity to have more in the future, and if that includes a different show, I would be more than thrilled. So we'll see.
Jared, so we all geek out over Supernatural. Is there something you really geek out over?
There probably is. I did geek out over Pearl Jam. We got some guys in. It turns out I think Jen was pregnant at the time too. Yes, she was. We got backstage tickets to Pearl Jam, and they were in Vancouver like 2 years ago. And we're walking, their publicist, I guess, fan of the show. They're like, listen, if the boys want to come by, hang out in the green room, whatever, give them a beer and let them hang out. It's like, cool, okay, cool. And then we walked in, and Stone Gossard was there, and all of a sudden, I could feel Jen kind of like, ow, you're hurting me. I'm like, what? She's like, you're squeezing the shit out of my hand. What's wrong? I'm like, sorry, Stone Gossard's right there. And then my please walking by. I grew up the grunge scene, and I think Pearl Jam, any better specifically, just a big fan. He's done so much for charity.
He fanned out. He fanned out to the point where I walked up to him and I'm like, you were embarrassing. Lock it up.
And I kind of went like, oh man, I always hoped I wouldn't react like that. There was another moment with Sebastian. I didn't fangirl out over Sebastian, but it was just talking about, this is kind of fun. Talking about like oh man, I always hope I wouldn't react like that. There was a part where Sebastian was all
this was the French mistake.
The French mistake. Well, he's painting the window with the blood and the bowl, and I'm standing there, and the couch is like right there, and the bowl is there. He finishes painting the sigil and puts the bowl down, and the bowl is
on the back of the couch,
this far away from me. He's like over there, and the bowl starts kind of like tipping. Like he does this, and then he puts the bowl down, and he doesn't look at the bowl, and the scene's going, but I can see the bowl tipping. And instead of going like, just riding the bowl, I kind of go,
the bowl falls, blood everywhere, all over the couch, and I'm standing behind him, and I look at him like, what was that? All he had to do was do this. And hold it, but no, he sees it go, it's going, it's like slow motion, and then it's beyond the point of, and he's like, ah! And I look at him like, why did you not catch that? And he's like, I don't know, I always hoped I wouldn't react like that. You had a question for Bob?
What was the most challenging story arc that you worked on in Supernatural?
I think the most challenging, and from what I can get of fan reaction, I think the whole thing with the Leviathans was hard for us. We had a really great ending the year before, and Dean was stuck in purgatory, and we thought that was really cool. And then when we got in the room to, okay, what now do we do? And breaking that storyline was probably the toughest one we had. It didn't feel in the moment like a natural progression. We were happy with a lot of that season, but I don't think any of us who were involved in it would have said, well, it's our best season. So sometimes you write yourself into a corner and it's a little tough to get out of. So that was the most challenging. I mean, I like the year, but I certainly think I like last year a lot better, and I think what we're doing this year is really exciting. The thing about Jared, the thing about Jared is, when we're talking about something as silly as the bowl tipping, is that whenever we have a scene which there has to be some physicality on Jared's part, we always make sure to tell the guys that build the sets, you got to really brace this hard, you got to build through it, because he can break anything. Jared, yeah, he does. Yeah, Jared slammed that door and the door flies off its hinges. And, yeah, so, but a bowl is scary, right? That's true.
It's helping me out. Thank you, Bob. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello. I'm sort of looking for a future to go into acting. And
I've
I've heard around the internet or other places that Jensen in the past has been quite a shy actor. So I was just sort of wondering if you could give some advice or to tell me how you sort of got through that.
I don't know that I was a shy actor. I think that for the longest time I was a quite observant actor. I would get on set and I would just try to be a sponge and learn from the people who I thought could teach me stuff. And you know, if that came across as me being kind of reserved, maybe it was, but it was me. You know, it's one of those things where if I'm talking and I'm not learning, so I'll just be quiet and I'll just kind of learn as much as I can. And you know, of course now I know everything, so I don't shut up. But I think that definitely the first, you know, the first 5 to 10 years of being a professional actor, I was still learning a ton. And I think just shut up and learn is some advice that somebody gave me early on, and I took it. So,
So me and my best friend were discussing, you see that every time you guys celebrate the moments of the show, that he has the silver lighter, he throws it into the audience, and I'm just wondering, it always looks like it's the same one, so do you guys just have this Dean dig it out after all? Or like, wouldn't it be more economical for him to just have a box of matches? Supply of those lighters to the back?
Costco.
We buy in bulk. No, actually, look at the last several years, the last several seasons, we have been using matchbooks. We take, it's two matchbooks, and I actually like the whole matchbook and throw it in there. Because we ran out of Zippos. No, I think we've had a few Zippos in the past, but we've stopped throwing them in because you're right. That wouldn't make sense.
All right, Cass, I'm coming on stage now because I know there's some auctioning that needs to be done.
Yeah, we talked to you guys. We're gonna to kind of lead into it. One of the things we have a lot of members of the crew and production staff here, and one of the things we always talk about for us, we see you guys almost a dozen times a year. You know, so it's wonderful. Some of you, lots of you. One way or another, we get in a room with hundreds of people who are really passionate about the show many times a year, and we kind of explain that one of the most amazing things, I'll take it back, the most amazing thing is how you guys have been together, not only to be so supportive to the show, and to myself and Jensen as actors, and Richard, and Rob, and a bunch, and the producers and the writers, but also to causes that benefit people who aren't as lucky as we all are. That having been said, we obviously always do a charity auction of sorts through creation, and this year Bob had an idea, and he wanted to auction some stuff off the charity. We told him there are no more supportive people than you bunch to make sure that Supernatural does good work. So I'll let kind of Bob take from here, and he can explain what's going on.
My wife and I, she's on the board of directors of this nonprofit, and it's called Death Penalty Focus. Politically, some of you may not agree with this, but basically it's an anti-death penalty group that works. It started in California, and it's now gone countrywide, and we're having really good effect throughout the country. I won't bore you with all the statistics of how many inmates who were on death row have been exonerated through DNA evidence, but if you just sort of run the numbers, you got to figure, well, somebody got executed that didn't do the crime, and one death is too many. So that's the group that it's for. What we're auctioning off is this book. Every year, two of these actually. Every year, Jerry Wine, our production designer, makes this beautiful coffee table book as sort of a thank you gift to the actors and producers. It's really wonderful. It's not available anywhere.
Yeah, it's gifts he makes for